الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن استنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين. All praise is due to Allah, and may Allah's peace and blessings be on the last Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and on all those who follow the path of righteousness until the last day. The topic, black magic, in the context of this conference on living Islam, one may ask, why black magic? I was asked to give that presentation. It wasn't my choice. But why did the organizers choose black magic to be a part of a conference on living Islam? Because black magic is a fact of life. It is interwoven into our lives. It has been interwoven into the life of human beings from as far back in time as we know. We have so much examples in the Quran and from the explanations of the Sunnah that there is no doubt that this subject is one which should be addressed. Addressed in order to be understood, not addressed in order to practice, but to understand what is in fact black magic and how do we deal with it in our communities, our homes, our societies, globally. First and foremost, we need to remove the adjective black, because in Islam there is no such thing as black magic. Sihr aswad, there's no such thing. In Islam we only have magic. That's what it has been referred to. It is European tradition which made a distinction between white magic and black magic. White magic being the good magic and black magic being the bad magic. We have so many examples of this white and black thing in European culture. We can understand where it's coming from and where it's headed to. Reality is that all magic is evil. All magic is evil. All the storybooks and movies, magazines, etc., which promote magic, Harry Potter and those before and those after, promoting this idea of good magic, white magic, from the Islamic perspective, it's all rejected. It is all evil. Allah talks about it as being kufr, disbelief. One who is engaged in real magic is engaged in disbelief, acts of kufr or disbelief. Now there is an aspect of magic which is in fact just illusion. And Allah described it saying, Saharu a'yun an-nas, that they mesmerized or made an illusion before the eyes of the people. They saw what wasn't actually there. So that reality, that magic, from the earliest of times, sought to compete with the miracles of the prophets of Allah. And that is why you find today, for example, in the West, many of those engaged in magic, they will try to imitate the miracles which were given to the prophets of God mentioned in the Old Testament and also to Jesus. So one of the popular magical acts that modern magicians or illusionists like to do is walking on water. Of course, there's no mention in the Quran about walking on water of Prophet Jesus, but in the Bible, that's a very famous incident mentioned. So the illusionists have competed with the miracles of Prophet Jesus. And one of their popular miracles is also turning scarves or objects into birds that fly away. We know in the Quran this is mentioned. It's not mentioned in the Bible, but in the Quran it's mentioned that Prophet Isa used to mold birds out of clay and blow on them and they would fly away, living birds. So the magic has been in competition with the miracles of the prophets as a means of misguiding people. It has been there from the earliest of times. And we also have mentions in the Quran concerning seeking refuge from the witchcraft and wizardry of those involved in magic. Surah Al-Falaq, وَمِن شَرِّ النَّفَّاثَاتِ فِي الْعُقَدِ. Seeking refuge in Allah from those who would blow on knots. That is the act that they would do to cause harm to come to others. So, from the Muslim perspective, Muslim scholarship, the vast majority of Muslim scholarship has accepted that magic has a reality. Yes, illusion is there. It does play a huge part. But there is, at its core, an element of real magic. However, there were some scholars who denied magic, denied the reality of magic. The first among them were the Mu'tazilites. Mu'tazilites who were around from the 8th to the 10th century of the Christian era. Among their leading scholars, people like Al-Jassas, Abu Bakr al-Jassas, he was one of the first to express the denial of magic, considering himself a rationalist, that what didn't go with human logic and reason was to be rejected. He came from a period of time when Greek philosophy entered into the body of Muslim knowledge. People introduced ideas, concepts, etc., gave them Islamic titles and names, etc., to make them acceptable, and promoted them. So the Mu'tazila were considered to be the rationalists, those who placed reason before revelation. The way of Islam is to place revelation before reason. Not that you cancel reason, but revelation has to precede reason. Because reason has limitations. Revelation doesn't have those limitations because it's from Allah, the creator of all. So, with that approach, that belief of Al-Jassas from the Mu'tazila, and he was a leading Hanafi jurist. He wrote a classic called Ahkam al-Quran. You had 2 centuries later Fakhruddin al-Razi, who wrote a tafsir of the Quran, which to this day, people refer back to. It was a classic. And you also had Ibn Hazm al-Zahiri. He was a Spanish scholar based in Cordova of the 11th century. Al-Razi was a Shafi'i scholar. So people came from all the different schools of thought as we know them. And in most modern times, we had not actually a scholar, but a well-known Islamist, Sayyid Qutb, in his tafsir or commentary on the Quran called Fi Dhilal al-Quran. He also denies the reality of magic. And the logical argument used by Al-Jassas was that if magicians were really able to do what it is claimed that they can do, they should rule the earth. They're able to make turn lead into gold. They're able to take the treasures from the earth. They're able to take money out of your pocket without you realizing. Whatever, they're able to do all these different things. They should be the rulers of the earth. But in fact, in the various societies, we don't have any example of any magician becoming a ruler. That was the logical argument that they used. So their conclusion was that it was not real. It was illusion. Also, they said, if it is real, then how would people be able to distinguish between the miracles of the prophets and the magic of the magicians? But actually, what we can see in much of this information is that there is a connection between the satanic, the demonic, and magic. There is a firm connection. A number of scholars like Al-Alusi and others have pointed out that the agency by which the magic operates is through the jinn. So it is mixed up with the world of the jinn. These are inseparable. Although people make a separation between evil eye, magic, possession, they've separated them out. In fact, they're all intermingled. And when we are going to deal with the effects of magic, how do we deal with the effects of magic? We use the same instructions which the Prophet ﷺ gave us regarding possession and evil eye, etc. The same du'as you will find in those ruqyas which the Prophet ﷺ taught, mention of all 3 aspects without distinction. Today, people have risen up amongst us who found an avenue for business, preying on the weaknesses of people, their desires to want to protect themselves from these things because they hear about it, it circulates all the time. So there are people there say, I have the knowledge. You come to me, I can tell you whether you have been affected by magic, whether it is evil eye, or whether it is possession. I'm able to distinguish, and I can tell you how many jinns are in you, and I can tell you when the jinn got into you, and who is responsible for it, and they can give you all these stories. And then they give you certain things to take, whether it is holy water, or it is holy oil, or they give you, things to wear, ta'weez, different things. So they have a whole pharmacy, and they're making big money. And they will tell you very openly, you come, you need some holy water. Okay, we have a whole list of bottles here. We got holy water which was blown on by Sheikh Sudais. And then we have one by your local Sheikh so-and-so. This one is only so many naira, but this one, Sheikh Sudais, this has got to be more expensive. So, they've devised this. It's become big business, and people are caught up in it, unfortunately. But the reality is that we don't have to go there. We need to beware of such people, because oftentimes they will tell you, okay, you need to go at midnight to the grave of so-and-so, and you need to slaughter this animal there and, spill the blood on there and wipe it on yourself, and all kinds of acts which involve elements of shirk. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam have informed us about magic for a purpose, because we have a need for it in our day-to-day life. He has given us the various formulas that we need to utilize in order to protect ourselves from the harm of magic, as well as the harm of those who would exploit our ignorance in the name of treating magic. So beware. If anybody tells you, okay, there's a sheikh and so, you just need to send a picture of yourself by WhatsApp, and he can look at the picture and he will tell you how many jinns are on you and since when they've been on you and all this. Know that those people are fake. You have to be aware of what is real and what is not. And learn the various du'as which the Prophet ﷺ gave us for ruqya, for treating illnesses, whether it is the evil eye or magic or possession, etc. Amongst the medical treatments which the Prophet ﷺ gave, which a lot of people are not aware of, is that of truffles. Very few people use truffles. Al-kam'ah. The Prophet ﷺ had said that this plant, al-kam'ah, is min al-man, from manna. And he said that it is a cure for al-ain, for the evil eye. Some people take it to mean literally a physical cure if you have a sickness in your eye and they pour the water in your eye. Okay, you could interpret it that way. But al-ain, whenever the Prophet ﷺ talks about al-ain, al-ain, al-ain is talking about the one which is coming through magic. And the kam'ah is available here, but most people are not aware of it. They don't use it. Have it as a medicine that you keep in your home. That when you feel the effects, or you hear of from your family members, etc., you boil it, you drink the water, as some of the Sahaba, Tabi'een did, and use it to treat your illness. This is one I'm mentioning in particular. There's many other things the Prophet ﷺ gave us, but that in particular because most people don't know about it. The truffles they know is a candy, which is a chocolate, called truffles, which they make in the UK. And that's not the one. We're talking about al-kam'ah. Right? Truffles, if you go on Google and you search for it, you find it's being produced in large quantities, in bottled and tinned from Morocco, from Algeria. They have it in large amounts. It's available. In Europe, they use it in meals, and it's very expensive. Very expensive. More expensive than gold. The truffles. There are different types. Some are white, some are brown, some are black, different colors. But very, very expensive in Europe. But it is something, I'm just mentioning it, among the things which may be benefited from. And also, if you feel that the ayn has come from somebody who has visited your home, etc., also the Prophet ﷺ advised that you have that person make wudu from a basin, and then the water from that, you take a shower in. You bathe yourself with that water. You know, a lot of people don't do it. They don't take that benefit. They feel shy to ask somebody, can you make your wudu and give me your wudu water? But listen, this is Islam. The Prophet ﷺ taught us that. He gave it to us. We need to take it and use it. Okay, I'm getting the signals that time's up, although my time was made very short actually. Versus Salah, yeah. Anyway, inshallah, the main point, again, we want to stress here concerning magic is that it is real. It is not an illusion. There are illusions that people do in the name of magic, but there is real magic out there. But it is only a small percentage of the cases. Much of the cases that people have, which they consider to be magic, like the cases of possession, it's psychological. Much of it is psychological, and that's why those people who are quacks, the quack doctors who are offering you solutions with holy water and holy oil and holy grease and holy all kinds of stuff, it works for some people, because truly this is known as the placebo effect, well known in medicine. Whenever they're testing a new medicine on the market, they give one group of people the medicine, the actual medicine, and another group of people what they call the actual medicine, but they're only sugar pills. And they will see, because there were people who will take that sugar pill and get cured from that illness. So when the percentage of those getting cured from the sugar pills is almost equal to those who are cured from the actual pills, they say this is not good. This is not a useful medicine. That's known as the placebo effect. That if you believe strongly in your doctor and he gives you a sugar pill and tells you this is going to cure your cancer, there are people who get cured. It is not because of the pill, but because the body can heal itself. Allah has made us that way. So take what Allah has given us through His Messenger regarding magic, apply it, teach it to your family members, let them know you're learning so many other du'as, etc. Since magic is widespread here in Nigeria, you have so many magicians have been caught in Saudi Arabia and executed. They've gone over there making money. Most of them are Nigerians, you know. And Nigerians are known as scam artists all around the world anyway, you know. So it's just a part of the scam, right? But inshallah, as Muslims who are conscious of Islam, be aware of the truth, the reality of magic, and seek protection for yourself and your families through the Quran and the Sunnah. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.